Today I'm going to talk about 10 books that I'm avoiding reading that aren't classics that I have on my shelves that I want to read. First up, we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This one has been popular on BookTube, Book Talk, whatever, for a while. And I've heard mostly good I've heard either great things or terrible things. And I just, I don't really know if I want to. I started it and I didn't immediately get hooked, and then I just never picked it up again. So I just don't care, but I'm still interested in the concept. So I just haven't. Up next we have An Ember in the Ashes. And yes, this is the old version of the cover. And yes, it's for some reason scrunched in half like that. This was also from 2010, probably, BookTube. All I remember is knowing that it was a fantasy enemies to lovers, and that it sounded cool, and that people were like, yeah, it's good, let's read it. And I was like, yeah, let's read it. And then I got it, and then I never read it. Naturally. What is this even about? Whoa! Sorry, I just opened the book. Look at that font! Look how, not the font, but the spacing. That is so spacey. Let's see here, what's about? Wow. Leia someone is a slave. Elias is a soldier. Neither is free. Under the martial empire, defiance is met with death. Leia and her family do not challenge the empire. They've seen what happens to those who do. Oh my, it sounds cringy. I'm kind of here for it. Okay, but when her brother is arrested for treason, she is forced to make a decision. In exchange for help from the rebels who promise to rescue her brother, she will risk her life to spy for them from within the Empire's greatest military academia. There, she meets Elias, the school's finest soldier, and secretly is its most unwilling. That sounds fun. Wait. Okay, maybe reading the synopsis will make me want to read the book again. He and her will soon, not be just changing every time they say her name to her because I'm not sure how to say it. They will soon realize that their destinies are intertwined and their choices will change the fate of the Empire itself. Dun, dun, dun! Boom. All right, up next we have Stephen King's 11/22/63. There we go. This is a historical fiction, time travel, sci-fi historical lit fic thing about this guy who goes back in time to try and stop the Kennedy's assassination. I believe it's been a while since I've read the synopsis. This one I got my mom to buy for me when I was, I don't know how old, probably not old enough to read this book, which is a good thing because I never read the book, so there's that. It's been sitting on my shelves. I am still very interested in it, and I'm not interested in a lot of Stephen King stuff because I'm not really into horror, but like this, The Green Mile, The Gunslinger, and Shawshank Redemption are like ones that I'd read by him, and that's about it. So it's on the list. I think you can tell why I haven't picked it up yet. It is, it's not that many. Okay, I lied. It is 142 pages. So, or 842 pages. Thank you very much. Next, we have Wildwood. This is a middle grade. I don't really know what it's about, but it's been on my shelves long enough that I just am like, every time I see it. But the thing is, I actually quite like the cover, and it looks whimsical and cute, so I still want to read it. And I also don't really unhaul books. My brain's like, that's cheating. So, but every time I think about picking it up, I'm like, why should I? Okay. Pure McKeel's life is ordinary. That is, until her brother is abducted by a murder of crows. And see, I start reading the synopsis and I want to read the book all over again. So maybe I should just read the synopses of my own books more. Until her brother is abducted by a murder of crows and taken to the impassable wilderness, a dense tangle forest on the edge of Portland. No one's ever gone in, or at least returned to tell of it. But that sounds interesting now. Book number 5. What is this called? Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. This is also a 2010s BookTube book. This, I think, was recommended by Murphy. And I was like, I think. It's been a while, okay? And, there's no synopsis I can read and want to read the book. Stupid people not putting the synopsis on the back is really rude. It looks like I got it at Goodwill for $4, so that was a steal. But, I think it's mostly the length. Although recently I did read an audiobook by the author. What was it called? Something Midwinter Christmas. Something, Winter, Christmas, Woods, something. And that was really good. So I'm more interested in this now than I was. But still, I think just purely almost because of the length of the book, you know? Book number 6. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. I don't know. I picked this up because I think I picked it up because I knew that the author wrote Eragon, even though I haven't read Eragon. And I was like, ooh, sure, pretty cover. Look, it's pretty. Yeah, sea blue. Yeah. So I was like, surely I should read this book. And I just have not picked it up. Kira Navarez dreamed of a life on New World. Now she's awakened to a nightmare. Dun, dun, dun. During a routine survey mission on an uncolonized planet, Kira finds an alien relic. At first, she's delighted, but elation turns to terror when the ancient dust around her begins to move. As war erupts among the stars, Kira is launched into a galaxy-spanning odyssey of discovery and transformation. First contact isn't at all what she's imagined, and events push her to the very limits of what it means to be human. While Kira faces her own horrors, Earth and its colonies stand upon the brink of annihilation. Now, Kira might be humanity's greatest and final hope. Okay, so it sounds like every sci-fi ever. Up next, this one maybe the next two maybe could be considered classics, but I don't know if they're old enough. But it's definitely a classic within its genre. I Have the World by Robert Jordan. I don't know what this is about. I was recommended by people on BookTube when I not first started watching BookTube, actually more like 10 years into watching BookTube. Anyway, I don't know. People said it. It's one of the greats of modern fantasy, so naturally I want to read it because of that. However, this is a big, chonky boy, which makes me not... Oh, wow, the map inside is pretty. Which makes me want to read it a little less. Look at that map. Very pretty map. I don't think I want to read what it's about, though. So you don't get to know because I don't want to know. Because I kind of want to go into it blind. Up next, Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. I'm actually very excited to read this book, except I never want to pick it up because I'm like, oh, then I'll read it. You know? I don't know if you know, but you know, what do I know about this book? Sentient pirate ships, slow, good characters. That's about all I know. Maybe pirates are in here. Not entirely sure. But everybody who likes what I read likes this book, so naturally I think I'll like this book. But it's just if I read it, that I'm going to be reading it, not have it on my shelves to read. You know, I don't really know why I filmed this, because half the time it's just like, yeah, I haven't picked it up because I haven't picked it up and I've just been staring at it for so long that now it's become intimidating because of how long I've had it and not picked it up. But, you know, that's most of my bookshelves, so what's to say? Okay, number 8. Foundry Side by, who's this by? Robert Jackson Bennett. This book, we were in Barnes & Noble, and my friend was like, she likes Six of Crows. What else is there? And he was like, this one. And I was like, K. So it sounds good, because it's, you know, thief, heist. What else is there to say but heist? Obviously, that means the book's amazing. However, because the idea of the book is the fact that I think it'll be very good, makes me not want to read it, which is opposite of how I should be reading. Maybe that's why I'm not liking a lot of what I'm reading. Maybe I should read the books that I think are going to be good. You know, whatever, it's fine. Okay, last but not least is Of Ashes and Sun. Nope, that's not at all what the title is. That's what I'm making up the title to be. It is, hang on, Ashes of the Sun. Yeah, Ashes of the Sun. This book, I don't remember what it's about. I picked it up at Barnes & Noble because I was like, I want some fantasy. And then I didn't read it. So there's that. I haven't read it because look how thick she is. Wow, so thick. Okay. Not even the ties of blood. Okay, let me be serious for 2 seconds. Not even the ties of blood will keep them from splitting the world in two. Surrounded by the relics of a dead empire, two siblings, one who wields magic for the empire, and the other who has vowed to bring it all down, will battle for the fate of the world in the first book of this epic new fantasy trilogy by best-selling author Njago Wexler. Probably said that name wrong. I don't know, still sounds good, but again, why would I read a book if it sounds good? Obviously, that means I've set up my expectations too high, and it's not going to meet them, and then I'm going to be disappointed. So, that's the moral of the story. Why read books if you think they're going to be good?